Good afternoon. This is the Tech Lunch Roundtable here on Blog Talk Radio. Today is the 2nd of April. We're past the April Fools, so no April Fools jokes today.
I wouldn't do that anyway because I find some of them funny, but I'm not that jerky.
This is the Tech Lunch Roundtable. I am Jason.
I'm Mish.
And we are here talking tech. We review tech news for the week. Mm-hmm. The show is every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.
Mm-hmm. Unless we change it on the fly, which we do that sometimes.
This is true.
Because, I'm not ready. Want me to do it in half an hour? Okay.
This is true. We talk tech news, and then also our subject, at least for today, is health.
And your computer.
Healthy computing. Yes. Kind of a boring subject, but something that needs to be.
I don't know. Is it boring when you die from you're having can't breathe because of your computer?
It is.
Oh, okay.
When you die, it's boring.
When you die, it's boring.
Anyhow, so our website is tamers.biz, and there you can check out not only the show notes. So if you go over to radio shows along the top and then click on today's show, April 2nd, we've already got the links up there for the news that we will review, and also any other links that we want to add as we talk about them. But also our links to our social media pages such as Facebook and Twitter and Google Plus and YouTube. The advantage of at least YouTube is you can subscribe to your channel, so when we upload this video, which I believe last week's is still set to private,
you fix that.
You will be emailed when that video is uploaded, and you can listen to whenever you would like to.
As long as I make sure it's public.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see our show notes. Facebook and Twitter, of course, links there. As we're not heavy posters on that, so we won't bombard you with tweets or Facebook
spam you. And we're not really for our YouTube. We're just saying if you want to subscribe, you get the thing in your inbox, but we're not subscription whores. Like us on Facebook.
Yes.
There are people that every video they do, they say, subscribe, like me. And one of the people I watch on YouTube actually made his April Fool's was about, he actually said, like and subscribe, it helps a lot. Because he doesn't care. He does his YouTubing as a hobby, not as a business. So it was funny.
Funny. So, starting with our news, this was just announced actually a couple hours ago. Amazon has announced a $99 set-top box called the Fire TV. It is going to be a competitor to Apple TV.
And I guess you could say the Roku. Even though it has a little Riku in it.
Apparently, I think so, yeah. Apple and Roku have a new competitor. It is the $99 Amazon Fire TV, and it's actually shipping today.
Yes.
It has a quad-core processor,
which is
2 gigs of RAM.
That pretty much blows Apple TV out of the water.
It runs, but it has Hulu, Netflix, YouTube, Vimeo, MLB.TV, and the NBA for starters. And, of course, Amazon's own instant video. There's a photo app, the Amazon, of course, Cloud Drive. So everything that is backed up on your Cloud Drive is accessible to that as well. And it does have an optional controller.
So it must have games. So it probably has Flappy Bird or Angry Birds or whatever.
Yeah, I believe it runs Android, so
you can get pretty much probably any game that's on the Amazon market or the Amazon Marketplace or the Android Marketplace.
So this is the same price as
Apple TV.
The Apple TVs. This will be direct competition.
Yes, this is going to be Actually, I think it's going to be a good one because the nice thing about it is that you were talking about it is that if it we need to see if it can stream media that from your computers, or basically hook a hard drive in and just play stuff. Because that would be the bar none best one. We will have to see.
Right, because like anything Apple, if you got the Apple TV, you're locked into using iTunes and the Apple Store to stream. Like for example, if you want to stream from your computer, you've got to have iTunes open and it in iTunes.
Mm-hmm. And you got to share it, and then certain files you have to re-encode that file to work in iTunes because you downloaded it, or it's something you ripped a DVD in. It's like, oh, I have to rip it in MP4. Well, it's a different MP4 format. Anyway.
Right. So I'll be anxious to find out if this will be able to access any network share on your computer, so your multiple computers in your house for videos and pictures. And I wouldn't be surprised if it does because it is Android. And Android basically says, yeah, I can do that. I can do it slow, but I can do it. We've got 42 days to go for XP. I've mentioned this the last few weeks. XP support from Microsoft is going to be killed, stopped, hanged, and this actually article talks about 42 things that you need to make sure that you do before your end. Right, because it's April 8th, which I believe is next Tuesday. Mm-hmm. That is going to be bad day. That's what I'm looking for. Stopped. And again, the issue is with Microsoft ending support for XP, none of the vendors that make programs for XP are going to support XP themselves because they're not going to get any support. So they'll be out in the flappy and I would like to say flappy in the wild. So next is there is now a reversible USB cable that will end your frustrations. Anybody that knows USB cables knows that you have a male end or you have an A and a B end. Well, what they're trying to do is they're going to create the new USB 3.1, and it's going to have the same end on each end. I think that's convenient. Then you don't have to worry about which end you've got. Yes. Why would... Again, I never understood these cables, whether they're charging cables or data cables, why they have to have different ends. Why can't you have the same end? Because they're universal. Ha ha ha. Right. It don't make no sense to me. It don't make no sense. And then you even have to stick it in the hole a certain way. Yes. Again. That's why I do like the HP and the Dell power adapters. Yes. Because they're round. That's just wrong. Doesn't matter. Yes. Although the Apple ones are they're the magnetic ones. Yeah, but they you can instead of 4 axes, you only have 2 axes because you can put it in upside down. That's true. But you can't put it in sideways. Right. Anyway. But it just snaps in. I can unplug it right now. Like my computer, and it connects. Thank you. We need that power. I am shutting down my computer, so I do not have any access to the news. I do it on my phone, actually. No worries. I can take over. Anyway, new transatlantic cables will bypass USA to avoid NSA spying. A jointly funded 135 billion euros project will enable Brazil and the EU to bypass the U.S.-owned transatlantic cables, the New York Times reported, and plans to lay a modern high-capacity fiber optic cable from Lisbon, Portugal, to Foritz La, whatever,
Brazil. So it just shows that many countries out there don't like the NSA. Apparently, and vis-a-vis, or the next step, is they don't like the United States. Awesome.
All right, here's another one. T-Mobile is no longer selling BlackBerry. BlackBerry owners who use T-Mobile will still be able to use their phones and get product support even after the deadline, which is April 25th of this year and month. They're just not going to sell them anymore, but the contract between the two companies won't be renewed. Let's see. Regretfully, at this time, our strategies are not complementary, and we must act in the best interest of our BlackBerry customers. T-Mobile was, at least for this article, was not available for comment. They did stop stocking the shelves of BlackBerry devices last year, citing weak demand. Google's Android dominated with 57% of the market, while Apple took 39%, and Microsoft's Windows phones making up a whopping 2.5%. Wow. Well, the BlackBerry was at 1.5%. Yeah. Keep in mind that cell phone manufacturers work in close partnership with the cell phone carriers to make the phones specifically for their network.
Yes, because they're just like we were talking about the USBs. Different cell carriers have different standards, because a standard is something that you want to everybody uses, unless you create another standard. GSM, LSP, and then T or whatever. HSSP. The one... HSSPDA
or something?
Yeah.
I forget.
Yeah, it's stupid. Then you have the PCS from Sprint. That was old, but cell phone. Still use it. Just shows that standards can't be standardized. Let's see. I want to do this one. Microsoft. We had actually talked about this a week or two ago about Microsoft. They were thinking about. There was rumors that they were going to announce Office for the iPad, and they have. So Microsoft, you can now get Office. I believe it's a 365 version, so it's online. It's not an offline version, but they don't say anything about offline, so I guess you can't do that. So you now can get Office on your iPad.
Yay! How about your BlackBerry?
Maybe.
Tesla car doors can be hacked. Hackers can unlock a high-tech Tesla car door by using the same run-of-the-mill techniques they use to crack open computers. That's according to security researcher Nitish Tahanji, who spoke about his findings at a recent hacker conference in Singapore. All it takes is cracking a 6-character password, considered low-hanging fruit in the cybersecurity world. And of course, they say if it can happen to a Tesla, other cars may be susceptible as well, because after all, many modern cars made by others like Ford and Toyota, and GM for that matter, can also be controlled via computer and mobile phone apps, and come equipped with wireless connections that tap into Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or cell phone networks.
I'm just going to buy myself a 1958 GM truck.
Soon you need to get Norton antivirus for your car.
Make sure you update it. All your subscription is out. Your car's not hacked.
Because Tesla owners right now must create a password-protected online account, which lets them use a smartphone app to access car locks, locate a car, and also see how much its batteries are charged. A single password gives complete access to an account.
That seems...
You noted that Tesla's website did not lock users out even if someone typed several incorrect passwords. So that opens up the site to what we call brute force attacks.
Basically, just shove it down your throat. Because normally, if you try it, usually now they're gotten to a point where if you try it twice, you're locked out for half an hour.
Well, now Tesla has already fixed this. The reason why he found out about this is he bought his own Tesla model, and he noticed the single password requirements and decided to test the system out.
Smart. And he's not even he's a security researcher. He's not,
Right, he's there to break things.
Yeah, break things.
Now this is interesting if it loads. I hadn't seen it really reported anywhere else, but apparently...
Which one?
Google-owned YouTube hasn't had a serious competitor for years. Page is reloading here. And it's gone.
It's gone. The internet's gone.
In years, but apparently Yahoo may be going to give it a try. And the web giant has been working on a plan to lure some of YouTube's most popular stars and networks to show their stuff on the site. The strategy in the works, which Yahoo hopes to launch in the next few months, is aimed at taking advantage of persistent complaints by both video creators and owners who think they don't make enough money on YouTube. So basically they're going to take all of the complaints that folks of YouTube have and fix those with... Now, I don't know what it's actually going to call. The joke is it's going to call YaTube.
Yep.
And it may be Yahoo and Tube.
Yep.
Maybe Yahoo Screen. But we'll just have to keep an eye on that to see if...
One thing is there's Dailymotion, Vimeo, and there's a bunch of other ones that are out there. I think that the more alternatives to YouTube, the better.
Yep.
Because yes, YouTube is a giant. It's just like Google is a giant in the search engine, but much of the other. Yahoo's not bad. Yes. Does Excite still work?
I don't know.
Dogpile. Showing my age there. Anyway, but yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think that's going to be good.
Yahoo. It seems like not Yahoo. It seems like Twitter and Facebook seem to try to copy each other.
Yeah.
A little while ago, Facebook added the hashtag so you can search.
Mm-hmm.
Now Twitter has added photo tagging and collages. So just like Facebook, you can photo tag somebody else, another user.
Is it different than photo bombing?
I think you can photo tag a photo bomb. I don't know. I don't really see. Twitter really. I don't know. I don't know people who tweet back and forth.
I've seen them. People are odd.
That's dumb because I don't do that.
Yes, because you don't do that. It's boom. Very good. I like your opinion. Everything matters.
It is reported that Apple will release the iPhone 6 possibly as early as this September in two sizes.
Small.
In a 4.7 and a 5.5 inch, according to Japanese publication Nikkei, which cites sources at domestic display manufacturers. The current screen size is 4 inch.
So it goes from the old one, small, medium, large, jumbo size, and bladder buster.
And it'll be made by Sharp.
Sharp.
And LG.
Oh.
Higher resolution. Just seeing if it has anything else that it may be. But no, it's just talking about the screen.
Yeah. Everything's about the damn screen. Anyways. This kind of goes into a little bit of our subject, but we've talked about this before. Americans' brains are being fried by cell towers. A new scientific evidence reveals shocking extent of electropollution damage. This is from Natural News. Basically, what they talk about is there are two different kinds of people. There's electromagnetic sensitivity. Some people are not electrical sensitive. outwardly, but everybody is electrosensitive. But there's some people that are hypersensitive, where you get them near a smart meter or Wi-Fi or something like that, they get either migraines or they even pass out. So what it shows is that, and we've talked about this before, because basically what a cell phone tower is emitting microwave radiation. So think of your, pardon me, but I should not yawn. Sorry, on a radio show.
It's an important subject.
I know it is. Electrosensitive, blowing up stuff. Think about your microwave. Set it on low, but then take it one more stage down, one more setting of low. That's what a Wi-Fi and even cell phones are at. And they get a burst of it when they get a call or they're calling out. That's why, and it's a very good read-through, and it just basically goes over the basically how our society is increasingly confused, irritable, and sleepless. And that is a lot of the same things, because your brain is being cooked. And it knows it's being cooked, but you don't know it's being cooked. So it's agitated. You consciously don't know it's being cooked, but your brain knows something's wrong, so it gets agitated.
And I think that's for, especially for folks who live close to a cell phone tower, like such as a couple thousand feet.
Mm-hmm.
If it's more than that, then of course, like anything else, further are you away, the less signal you get. So less effects you'll see from it. March 31st. Oh, no. The U.S. Department of Transportation's National Highway Traffic Safety Administration the other day issued a final rule requiring rear visibility technology in all new vehicles under 10,000 pounds by May 2018. This new rule enhances the safety of these vehicles by significantly reducing the risk of fatalities and serious injuries caused by back-over accidents. This requires the driver to be much lazier and not care and rely on technology. So if something happens, they can blame the car manufacturer and not themselves.
Exactly. Although I will give to that, this actually is something that they actually would be helpful, because you could actually see the person right on your bumper.
True,
but I understand too is that yes, we have to handhold every little child out there. I mean adult. So
of course the article didn't all say that. I kind of added to it.
I know you use some editorial license.
Now keep in mind, on average, there are 210 fatalities a year.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Probably because people are lazy and stupid, and they just backing up is hard to do, and they just start singing, or they're putting the makeup on in their vanity mirror. They're backing up, and I'm boom, boom, boom. Oh, I ran over something.
Right, that's my whole point.
People are stupid.
This is going to add to the cost of the vehicle, because they're going to be not cheap. Probably going to be at least $200.
Yes, which they then jack up the price on. Oh, here's your back-facing camera with sensors and all this stuff. It is a couple $100, but we're going to charge you $25,000 for it because we do that on cars. We price gouge you. And
another thing to go bad is the fail on the vehicle.
Yep, more electrical stuff to be hacked.
Granted, a lot of cars have these already, especially the larger trucks, the SUVs. But I guess you're going to have it in your little Prius.
Yep.
In your Yaris.
Will I have it on my motorcycle? Because that's under 10,000 pounds. It says, National Final Report, a rear visibility technology on all vehicles. Technically, a bike is a vehicle under their guise. So, will I have a camera? I should just do this. Oh, look behind me.
Yee.
Dumbasses. I mean, thank you, National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration. Could you make the roads less, problematic by not killing people? Yeah. I got They have to prove that their existence is worth something.
Right. All right, so our topic for this week is healthy pooting.
Pretty much just pooting. So we kind of talked about like the Wi-Fi and the wireless. We've talked about that before, where like turning it off at night, not having it in the same room as you're sleeping in, especially near a baby or something like that. But other things to be aware of are posture and placement of the computer, keyboard, and all this kind of stuff. And we're going to go, yes, it's boring, but it's kind of information, can save you a lot of heartache, literally, and back pain and all this stuff. Because where your computer sits, because you're on it, I mean, we've been sitting here for the last, I'd say, about half an hour doing the show. And Jason and I both have been staring at our computers, doing stuff and whatnot. And from when I'm looking at Jason right now, his neck is angled a little down, and you can tell in his shoulders are hunched because of how the keyboard is. You should not be stressed when you're working in front of your computer. Your body should be relaxed. So we'll start with the monitor or the screen. This is why laptops are great for, like what we're doing right now, just sitting and doing this, portability. Laptop, the monitor of the computer should be at your nose. Height, Dumbo.
Top of the monitor or the bottom of the monitor?
Middle. So basically...
But that means I'm crouched over.
That's the next thing we're going to go over. But no, so you need to raise the computer up, because if you right now, I mean, if you raise it up, hold the computer up, your neck will feel more, things feel better and easier on your eyes. And you should use your eyes, not your neck, to look around. That's the thing that most people do too.
Hey, guess what I saw today? Everything I looked at.
Wow. That's an epiphany, the worth of all epiphanies. Especially if you have a desktop, raise the monitor up so that the middle of your nose, the little button of your nose, is in the middle to lower third of the screen. And you should not look at it from an angle, so you should be dead on to it. So like right now, my laptop is right in front of me, but there's another monitor here, so I should not be looking and have my neck crinked over, because this will get a crink in your neck. And also, when you are looking down a lot, and this goes with your cell phones too, your neck is always crooked down, which actually cuts off a lot of your cerebral spinal fluid in your neck. It's the reason why sometimes you get a crink in your neck and you're like, snap if you can, or your neck hurt, pop, or you don't even sleep well. Because right now, like Jason's right now, he actually is using his eyes to look down, then cocking his neck down. Back is also worse too. So you basically want, think about the old finishing schools where they would put a book on your head and you would have to balance it. Your nose and your head and your chin should all be parallel, so you should not move from there. That's what your eyes are made for when they look around. So you should be able to scan with your eyes. So right now Jason's actually holding, although he's kind of lopsided, but his head is currently angled right, because he's looking down at on the phone, but his nose is actually pointed straight on. So it's actually at the top of the screen instead of just looking down like I'm looking at my thing. So eye placement is very important. This is good for your neck and back, because this will give, if you don't have a good posture with your neck, this also can cause breathing problems, because, well, it deals with your breathing. So going to you may go see a chiropractor or something like that to fix your back, but excessive use of a phone or a laptop like this is not healthy by any means. So for a laptop, they make little lifters that actually will raise the laptop up and allow you to angle it away if you're using it as basically a desktop, as Jason uses his. GTFO. So that's angle of the screen. Now, next would be your keyboard and mouse. Your keyboard should be, now, most people often put the keyboard, because a full-size keyboard, directly in front of them, so that their midline is where, like, the, what's that thing called? Is that a
semicolon?
Semicolon. But that's incorrect. Your hands should naturally want to go to the area, the G and H. They should be straight on middle. The number pad should be off to the right, and then your mouse off to its right. Because that's the problem, is that when you are typing like this, with it dead on to you, your right arm is crooked at a way that you're going to get carpal tunnel. Whereas if I put it to the right place, both hands are at the right place. Now, if, some people can have learned how to type with one hand. There's a joke in there. Yes, there's a joke in there. One-handed, that's a joke. Anyway, so also your keyboard should be angled, not up totally. It should be not flat against the ground, but a slight angle so that when your fingers go away. So like right now, there's usually two things that pop out of your desktop keyboard. You have down, and then usually another one. So you want it up just enough to give you a little angle. This allows you to ride along. If you ever seen an old school typewriter, it's the reason why they do that, because you want it at angle to it, but you should actually not lay your hands against the table, because this gives you carpal tunnel. So what you want to do is hover.
Hover.com.
Then because you're actually using your arm muscles to actually do their freaking job, holding your arm up. So that's basically your keyboard. And your mouse, well, except for your mouse will generally be put, you'll put it in the most natural place.
Exactly.
Yes. So like right now, Jason's is off to the side, but you really shouldn't. Shouldn't hold the mouse with a dire grip. It should be light.
Light, softly caress your mouse while you push its buttons.
Whatever you say and whatever floats your boat. But yeah, so the mouse generally goes into the place that's most comfortable, because it is pretty much. But you should angle it in to give you a nice angle on your hand. So if you're sitting like I'm sitting like here, it shouldn't be dead on, but to the side a little bit. So that's basically where you should put all the things. Now, what about your butt? Where should your butt be?
What about my printer?
Your printer? Who cares about where your freaking printer is? You're going to be walking to it or turning around. And my printer breaks up the monotony of you whacking off on the internet. Anyway, so how you sit and your angle of your butt is also can be an issue. Like I said, you shouldn't be hunched over, because that's bad for your back and makes a lot of pressure. And sitting back, like right now, I'm lounging back because the chair can go all the way back, is not always the best way. But if you're watching a movie, you want to lounge back a little bit. Take the pressure off of your spine. But having lower lumbar support is good. But if you're typing or working on it, you want to sit up straight. You want your hips, which is your part of your thighs and whatnot, your lower legs should be at a 90-degree angle to your back. So when you can I help you? So you want to sit with a 90-degree angle. So you want to sit up straight. People don't do this anymore because, how's this to say? Everybody's freaking lazy.
Yeah.
And this is the reason why you actually, when people like right now, Jason and I both have backs on our chairs. You should not sit in a chair as if it has a back. It may have a back right now, but you should actually sit in it, and your back should never touch that back of the chair if you're sitting correctly. Not hunched over, but sitting up straight. Backs of the chair make people lazy. But if you sat in a stool, you have to sit up because you can't lean back or it goes whee, which I've done. Also, the height of your chair to your keyboard, also an issue. You don't want it too high where you have to raise your elbows up, and you don't want it too low. Huh?
Too high or too depressed?
Yeah. Marijuana is illegal in Denver, so you're good to go. Colorado. So you want it, usually you want, if you're sitting and say your elbows are down at your sides, that a little bit lower than that, and that's where you want your elbows, so that when you're typing, you raise your elbows just high enough to hover over the keyboard. Because things should be comfortable, but not lazy. Because people are too lazy these days. Okay, so, and also your feet should be flat on the ground. Should be flat in the ground, sit up straight. This, by doing all these little, anal things, will actually give you longer life, longer longevity in front of the computer. Normally about at 5 or 6 hours, actually 3 to 4 hours more long. People usually at that point are so tired in front of the computer they can't do it anymore, or they need to get up and walk around. If you sit correctly, you can sit in front of a computer 8, 9, 10 hours a day and have no life. But it's health. Do you want to be healthy or do you want to be dead? That's really the question. I mean, many of the problems with like the biggest things is the monitor height and where you sit, how you sit in your chair via the computer. Because the more you lean back, like the song says, or hunch forward, like Jason is right now,
right,
the more you're going to have pain, suffering, not sleep right. And hey, if you don't want to sleep right, that's up to you, and you want to be in pain. And it also makes you more of a pain in the butt, irritable. So
you definitely don't want. Most people aren't using them now, but you definitely don't want an old CRT tube monitor. They are bad for your eyes.
LED all the way, baby.
LED is not bad for your eyes. Not good for your eyes, but doesn't hurt your eyes.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to stare at it all day.
Mm-hmm.
Another little tidbit is if you use your iPad, iPoo, or Android, or your Windows Phone, or if you're a BlackBerry user.
There's a couple out there.
Like lying in bed or right before you go to bed, or you have your kids use one of those before they go to bed. Mm-hmm. That bluish light that it actually emits actually excites the brain and all, and
it excites it.
Keeps them from going to sleep sooner than they would.
Actually, if anything, if you're going to use anything before going to bed in its technology, probably would be using a Kindle. Not the Kindle Fire, the regular Kindle.
Right.
Because there is no light. It's basically
natural.
painting on it. It's much more natural. Or you could use this thing called paper. They bound it. They put this stuff called ink on it.
Okay.
They bind it in the usually leather or sometimes a woodish cardboard and other paper types. We call it a book.
Yeah, have you ever seen those?
I love books. I'm just not very good at reading them. Yeah, so books are the best.
And at night, we talked about shutting off your Wi-Fi. Even shut off all your equipment, electronic equipment.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about other equipment.
In your bedroom. So, little TV, shut off if you have an Apple TV in there, if you've got a Blu-ray player or a smart TV that has Wi-Fi, Maybe even unplug them because those things are still on, still searching for a connection. You can shut off your Wi-Fi router at night, but the Wi-Fi units, like your laptop, your Apple TV, stuff that has Wi-Fi in it, is still. It didn't turn that off. It's still looking for a signal, and in fact, when it can't find a signal, it's actually going to hunt harder for it.
It's going to emit,
and even use up more battery.
Yeah.
So shut those off too.
Mm-hmm. And also one thing most people don't realize about, especially since we're talking about bedroom fun, is that all LEDs, light in general, is bad for your sleep. When you sleep at night, your room, your bedroom, should be dark. Yes, granted, you may have like a window that has, maybe moonlight outside, but there shouldn't be glow from a night light or something like that in your room. I know kids, because they're scared of the night. I was too, and I was a little kid. I was scared. Darkness.
Do you use Blackberries?
No. I carry a Glock now, so I'm not scared of the dark. So it's like, come on, B-Nut, bring it on. I got 15 rounds of fun, and I got 12 gauge above my head, so break it. Anyway, so having covering LEDs like on power boxes, the back, if you're like a device, they blink all the time, even if it's wired. Covering them up is actually a good way to help with your sleep. Makes your sleep a little better, especially for kids, because the light as it blinks, even though the people think, well, I can't see it, your eyelids, you can see things even though your eyes are closed. You see those little flashes, and it affects your brain. Just like how there's the flicker rate on a TV has been engineered to make you stare at it. I'm watching a show. Hours pass. What? I'm a zombie. Brains.
Exactly.
So that's why the flicker or light in general should be more natural. Natural. So I actually, except for one clock in my room, which is covered most of the time by a pillow or something like that, I have no lights on in my room. It's completely dark. It allows me to sleep easier. Plus, also, your night vision becomes better so that you actually can see in the dark. Because everybody has night vision, but nobody uses it because they have all these lights and everything around. Your night vision doesn't kick in. Turn off all the lights, stand in a dark room, be like, hey, I can see. What the heck? And I'll leave you to that.
Whoopie poopie doopie doo.
Yeah. That's it. I got nothing more. Nothing, honey.
That's
healthy stuff.
Some good tips, and you'll probably end up sleepy. There are
companies my points
out there. We have one. It seems to help. There are companies that make EMF protection. Ones like EarthCalm.com, and I can't remember the other one. But basically, they're natural units that harmonize the frequencies. And so, some people say they help, some people say they don't notice it. But they have whole home ones. They have ones for your kids. It's a necklace, a smart meter, so something you can think of. Look it over, whether they work or not. I haven't used them enough to say they
yay
do.
or nay.
Right. Yeet.
Now is the end of the show, and I'm going to say GTFO for us. Thanks, Bill. And that's it. Check us out next time. Like, subscribe. Totally like subscribing horror. Yeah. See you. Bye.